Okay, ARMY, we need to talk. Not about the comeback, not about the concert, about something that in the last 48 hours has split the entire K-pop world into two sides facing each other with full energy. And right in the middle of all of it, one name keeps coming up, one face keeps appearing, and one set of photos has already been viewed more than 14 million times on X alone. Park Jimin, BTS, Paris Fashion Week, and Getty Images photos that became the hottest debate of the week. Welcome back to the channel. Get comfortable, because this story is long, layered, and far more complicated than it looks on the surface. June 24th, 2026. Paris Fashion Week. And Jimin arrived as Dior's global ambassador to attend the Dior Men's Summer 2027 show. One of the most anticipated presentations of the entire Fashion Week calendar. For the occasion, Jimin wore a deep navy velvet coat from Dior's Men's SS27 collection, which some fans believe drew inspiration from an archival velvet coat dating back to around 1775. The coat featured silver embellishments and decorative statement fastenings. Underneath, he wore a green plaid shirt from Dior's newly unveiled SS27 collection, paired with relaxed light-wash denim, muted taupe suede boots, and a diamond-studded necklace in yellow, pink, and white gold from Dior's My Dior collection. His shoulder-length ash blonde hair was kept open, completing the overall look. Conceptually, bold, editorial, extremely high fashion. And the moment Jimin arrived at the venue, the internet moved. According to data shared by the X account About Music, Jimin generated more than 250,000 posts within just the first hour of his arrival at the event. And within a few hours, total posts had already surpassed 550,000. Hashtags like #JiminXDior and dior Global Ambassador Jimin started trending simultaneously across multiple countries. Fans were calling him the true highlight of the entire Fashion Week. Some called him the Dior Prince. Others called him the Global IT Boy. Many simply called him the main character of the entire show. But then the Getty Images photos started circulating. And that's where everything shifted direction. If you're not familiar, Getty Images is one of the largest photo agencies in the world. Their photos are known for being raw, minimally retouched, and captured under whatever lighting conditions happen to exist at the venue. Anyone who's ever seen Getty photos from a red carpet or major fashion event knows that they can look very different from the polished images an artist posts on their own Instagram. That's just the nature of how those photos work. After the event, unedited photos of Jimin from Getty began spreading widely across various platforms, sparking a wave of mixed reactions. Some people criticized the styling and how Jimin looked. Others were genuinely confused about why the comments directed at him were so harsh. On the Korean forum Daegu, negative comments started piling up. Some said the styling was a miss. Some focused on the hair. Some brought in comparisons to other idols and criticism of his styling team. What started as a conversation about fashion quickly shifted into something more personal. Direct attacks on Jimin's appearance itself. And then something far darker started happening. According to fans, the situation escalated after some social media users allegedly edited versions of the Getty photos to exaggerate Jimin's facial features before sharing them online. These altered images were then circulated alongside harsh criticism targeting his visuals. So it wasn't just the original photos causing the reaction. There were photos being deliberately manipulated to make him look worse than he actually did, then spread as if they were real. And people who didn't know the context? They reacted to those fake photos as if they were genuine. This is a pattern that's unfortunately not new in the K-pop world. But the scale and speed of it this time was something else entirely. Fans quickly hit back at the criticism, explaining that the images being shared and used as ammunition had actually already been edited by outside parties. Not original Getty photos at all. They encouraged people to go check the Getty Images website directly and compare for themselves. And when people did that, the difference was clear. The actual Getty originals did look different from Jimin's Instagram photos. Yes. But nowhere near as extreme as the manipulated versions that had been spreading through anti-communities. Then the next day, June 25th, Jimin posted an Instagram carousel with 10 photos from the Dior event, solo shots and pictures with people he met at the show. And that became the next target. Some users began calling out the idol for supposedly over-editing the images, with accusations of whitewashing and altering his facial features. But fans had a straightforward explanation for that too. Based on comparison with the original Getty photos, the main visible difference was color grading. All of Jimin's Instagram photos had a consistent filter applied with reduced saturation across the entire carousel. That's standard photo editing that virtually everyone does on Instagram, not selective facial manipulation. And honestly, the argument that came back from netizens on multiple sides made a lot of sense. Is there actually anything wrong with editing photos? He's in a profession where appearances matter. Do you honestly think a Dior ambassador is going to post photos where he doesn't look his best? That's just business. And beyond that, is there anyone out there who posts every single photo completely unedited on their own personal Instagram? But then the situation grew into something bigger and more troubling than just a debate about one set of photos. As the debate around Jimin's photos continued, the target of the attacks began to expand, moving from Jimin alone to the other BTS members as well. Netizens started sharing Getty photos of the other members, and leaving malicious comments about their real visuals. In the same way, this wasn't about fashion anymore. This had turned into a coordinated mass attack against the entire group. And ARMY did not stay quiet. They moved fast. They collected evidence of the manipulated photos. They built detailed threads on X explaining exactly what had been changed between the real Getty images and the altered versions being spread by antis. They mass-reported accounts posting malicious content, and they flooded timelines with a counter-narrative that was clear, factual, and impossible to ignore. The result? Popcore reported that Jimin's appearance at the Dior show generated over 1 million mentions and more than 5 million engagements on X alone. And the threads filled with the real, original photos of Jimin looking incredible at the event went just as viral as every negative post that had tried to tear him down. One of the most retweeted posts during the whole thing said something along the lines of, "Imagine being so naturally beautiful that people have to edit your photos just to make you look bad." And, honestly? That's the most perfect response anyone could have given. I want to go a little deeper here, because there's something we need to acknowledge honestly. The so-called Getty image curse, where raw photos from major press agencies make celebrities look dramatically different from their curated social media images, is not a new phenomenon. It happens to virtually every artist in the world, from Hollywood to K-pop, high-resolution professional cameras, lighting conditions the artist can't control, angles that aren't chosen with flattery in mind. That combination almost always produces images that look far more human than what we're used to seeing on a celebrity's polished Instagram grid. But what happened to Jimin wasn't simply people didn't like his photos. What happened was that manipulated images were spread on a massive scale with a clear intention to do damage. And that is fundamentally different from criticism. That's an organized attack. And recognizing that difference matters. In the broader context, Jimin isn't alone in experiencing this. Many K-pop idols, particularly male idols, are regularly targeted by coordinated online campaigns that try to discredit their appearance using photos taken in unflattering contexts. Or in this case, photos that were manipulated even further beyond what the camera already captured. This was never really about whether you like the styling or not. It was about how the internet can become a genuinely dangerous tool when it's used to go after someone with dishonesty at the core of it. At the end of all of this, what does the full picture actually show us? It shows us a Jimin who stood completely still through all of it. He didn't delete his Instagram photos. He didn't respond to the criticism. He didn't explain himself to anyone. He simply showed up, looked extraordinary as Dior's global ambassador, and let his presence speak entirely for itself. It shows us an army that moved quickly, intelligently, and in a coordinated way to defend their artist. Not by firing back emotionally, but by bringing actual evidence and letting facts do the talking. And it shows us one truth that didn't shift at any point during the entire controversy. Despite everything that surrounded those Getty photos, Jimin remained one of the most talked about figures from the entire Paris Fashion Week cycle. His name was everywhere. His outfit was being analyzed by international fashion accounts. His presence was being celebrated by millions of people simultaneously around the world. There is no controversy large enough to dim a star that's already burning that brightly. Park Jimin came to Paris, wore Dior, and broke every timeline there was, in every possible sense of that phrase. That's the full story, ARMY. The complete breakdown of the Jimin Getty photo controversy that in 48 hours managed to move the entire global K-pop fandom all at once. If this video made you think, made you angry, made you proud, or all three at the same time, you're not alone. That's a completely reasonable reaction to something this layered and this real. Hit that like button if this kind of content is useful to you. Subscribe so you never miss a story like this one. And drop a comment below. Where do you personally draw the line between fair criticism and an attack that's gone too far? I genuinely want to read what you think. See you in the next one. Sarange, ARMY.